Joey Manarino says, if NATO won't serve the interest of the USA should not allow NATO to rely on us for their defense.
Again?
NATO has never relied on the USA for their defense. It has only ever been the other way around.
I love...
NATO without America doesn't exist. Probably true. It's a racket created so that Europe can rely on Americans to defend them if they get into some deep shit. No, it's a...
But we're the ones who've called on them.
It's a reciprocal thing. It goes both ways. Trump should be the president to pull us out of NATO and spend the money we waste on defending Europe right here at home in the form of tax cuts. It's cute that he thinks that someone in his income bracket would ever see a tax cut from that.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, just like, he's already kind of getting what he wants because Trump did that whole, like, let me go ahead and create the peace board or whatever the fuck it was.
Mm-hmm. And then the peace board went ahead and attacked Iran.
Yeah. It's just,
Israel was one of the countries that joined.
God. It's all fantastic. Everything. All of it. All the time.
We're in the best timeline.
Yup.
Joey again says, isn't it nice to not wake up every single day having a demented pedophile as the US president?
But, wait,
So,
no, wait, hold on. But we do have a demented pedophile as the president. No.
I misread that at first, and I thought for a second that Joey had gone anti-Trump. I thought he was joining with Madge.
No.
Like, no, he's just literally trying to say, no, Biden is actually all the bad things that Trump is.
I like how, despite a plethora of evidence in the Epstein files, Trump doesn't get called a pedophile here. But Biden gets called a pedophile, and you know why? Because there is a singular picture of him sniffing a girl's hair, apparently. That makes him the guaranteed pedo.
It was creepy.
Yeah, that makes him the guaranteed pedophile.
I mean, I'm perfectly happy saying that him sniffing a little girl, well, just like a 15-year-old, but still, sniffing a child's hair. Creepy.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not going to defend that.
I just find it really weird that
There's a lot of evidence that Trump actually fucked children.
Yeah, I just find it really weird that, like, the line for Biden is, here's this one thing that looks kind of sus. But the line for Trump can't be him saying he'd fuck his own daughter. The line for Trump can't be a 13-year-old girl bit his fucking dick. And, Congress people talking about that literally today on the fucking floor. Like, none of that can be evidence that Trump is a pedophile.
You're the ones with Trump derangement syndrome, you see. Because, like, you can't actually look at the evidence. That's derangement syndrome. You have to ignore the evidence. That's the truth.
The party told you to ignore the evidence of your eyes.
Uh-huh.
Why
do you always compare things to 1984, Cyrus? That's so cringe.
Yeah, I know, right? It's almost like I've been conditioned to do this because there's a bunch of fucking conservatives who've been doing this the whole time. It's like the only thing they know to do is say, this is like 1984, that book I've never read.
Yeah. And now it is.
And now it is. And let me be clear, I also haven't read 1984.
I have. It's depressing.
I don't doubt it.
All of George Orwell's books are depressing. Because there was a call center I worked at where I had a lot of downtime in between calls.
Yeah.
And we had access to a fairly unrestricted internet. And I found a repository of books that were in the public domain. Mm-hmm. And the works of George Orwell were there. So I started going through them. And then I stopped going through them after 3 of the books because I was like, this is sad. Every one of his books is depressing.
Yeah. Dorita says, if a video came out of Trump with an underage person, they would demand AI be banned.
Yeah, probably. Justice says, the ending bummed me the fuck out. Yes, all of George Orwell's endings will bum you the fuck out.
Fucking Nick Fuentes going on record saying that he should just convert to being a liberal now because of all of this shit.
Burmese Days, that probably wins for most depressing ending. from any of the George Orwell books I read, which, to be clear, are like 3. But still, very sad. And not sad in like a cathartic way, just sad in a, like, I just now feel empty inside.
It's got to be sad in the Donald Trump yells the word sad very loudly. It has to be sad in that way.
Well, it's not sad in that way.
Sad!
Disappointed!
Thanks, KSorbs. You're a real...
Kevin Sorbo! Oh, good timing.
You're a real person. Oh, we haven't seen KSorbs here in a while.
Did you know that when Denmark cut the amount of welfare that asylum seekers received, the amount of asylum applicants went down by 71%?
Okay, and is that supposed to convince me that we should not give money to people who are poor and infirm and need it?
That is what that's supposed to... Well, I think what he's going for there is that they don't really need it, they just want the free money. The problem is, if you are seeking asylum, especially somewhere like Europe, where it's easy to get between countries there, like, if you have a choice, then, like, yeah, Denmark just cut how much money I'm going to have to live on, and it's going to be a lot harder to live there than in its next door neighbor that has better welfare system. So I'm going to go to the next door neighbor. So, like, it didn't actually stop the number of people that were in need of asylum. It just stopped how many Denmark was helping.
Yeah, that's not the evidence that he thinks it is.
I feel like, yes, that is a true thing. That is a thing that happened. They cut their benefits roughly in half. And that is how much it went down by. I see that as a bad thing. I feel like helping people that need help is a good thing. And I thought
Sorbo doesn't see it that way, though.
And Kevin says that he likes this Jesus guy, so...
Now, Kevin is very, very much on the train of helping people is bad, actually, and we shouldn't do it.
Yeah, empathy is a sin.
I think empathy is a new age word.
Empathy is the 8th deadly sin.
Hey, you made it to the end. I want to give an extra thanks to the patrons who allow me to do this full time. I want to thank Aaron Rail, Astral, Britzkrieg, Jemshin, Poundini, Red Joker, Victoria, Jonas, Craig, Tarika, Fireshard, Smiling GM, John, Dren Hadamada, Creeper, Sagitt, you know I'm not saying that last part, Sylvie Snow, Valis of Seraph, Ottoman Angel, Rooster Rachel, and Fire Panda, who are all my $20 and up patrons.